Like we leap slam around, we open up essences or run essences. This is a tier 16 map and we are shredding through essences. We are shredding through everything that comes in our way. Hi. Ignore the lighting on my face. This is for this is an update-ish to the Smite Juggernaut build that I posted a few days ago that a lot of people have been really enjoying. And the other day, this one person mentioned something in the comments. Person's name is right here, that I don't mispronounce it. This person said something about using a different body armor instead of armor is increased by open cap biores. So that made me do some tinkering, and I actually made a build that is significantly cheaper than the original budget version, and it actually has more damage than that version. So that's what we're going to go over, and this was going to be a new build video, basically only covering the budget version, and also there will be step by step. I will show you exactly how to buy whatever it is that you need to buy, how you will craft whatever it is you need to craft, and the exact amount of money that you will need in order to make this work. I estimate already this is going to be around a maximum of around 10 to 15 divines, maybe even less, depending on if we get lucky on the crafts and lucky on who's selling what at the moment. So to begin with, I'm going to take off all of my gear, everything comes off. Okay, all of it comes off, because I will be getting everything brand new. And also the gear set that I'm going to be buying in this video, it will be available, the entire set, or however much I buy it for, will be available for free to one of the people who will join the Discord from the link below. Right, once this video hits around 1,000 views, maybe, yeah, 1,000 views, I'll randomly pick one person from the Discord to just give the entire thing along with the cluster jewels, the armor, the rings, not these, the ones we're going to be buying in this vid will be given away. And all you have to do is join the Discord and maybe send a hello message in the general chat. Right now the Discord is very empty, it's brand new. I will set it up properly, but for now it's just a very bare bones empty servers so that people can reach out to me without me having to just individually tell everyone my username in the comments. So we are a naked marauder. Let's say right now we're level 1, right? How do we level for this build? Well, we actually, the way I leveled this was using Fox's Righteous Fire build. Fox is another streamer, YouTuber person who has an infinite amount of video guides on Righteous Fire, Juggernauts, Inquisitors, whatever. For this build we need to be a Juggernaut, so we are going to be that one. So this is his POB that I got off of his website that I will link in the spreadsheet. There will be a spreadsheet, this video. I will link this POB and his channel in this website if you want. Maybe you enjoy Righteous Fire so much that you don't even bother playing Smite. That's completely up to you, but this tree has everything. There's all the leveling, all the everything. Okay, so we need to be around level 93 to 96 to be able to play the Smite Juggernaut at least in a way that you won't just randomly die and it'll feel nice to play. Hitting level 93 to 96 is not hard at all. You just finish your maps around level 7, let's finish your campaign around level 70. If you want to speed right into this, do some Breachstone runs, do some 5-ways, they're incredibly cheap. yeah, you can also Google other guides how to level up faster so that you can hit your level 90 mark, level 93 mark, and then you can switch over to the build. So yes, I'm not gonna go over the Righteous Fire thing. There's on my guide, so I don't really copy it much, but yeah, you can click on an individual leveling trees to just, it basically holds your hand through the entire campaign on exactly what you need to do and when. Yeah. So now let's say you are done leveling. Now you are around level 93. This is my current tree. This is me right now with everything that I have, including an ashes and everything. This is around a 80 to 90 divine budget that I'm on currently. Okay, and as you can see, I have 25 million DPS just on any random mobs. I have 21 DPS on like bosses. I have 20 million DPS on pinnacle bosses like Shaper, Elder, whatever, and I have a 6 million DPS on Uber bosses. But Ubers, we can ignore those. Right, this build can do Ubers at this level. On lower levels it can as well. It'll just be a tiny bit more tricky. You'll have to dodge things. Who wants to dodge things? Anyway, so the config and everything is set up in a certain way, and I will explain the config right now actually. So effective shock gives us a lot of our damage. We use a lightning skill is shock, and we strike a lot for a lot of damage, so we will always have high amounts of shock. This can go up to 32%, 35%. So I'm averaging this at around 25. That's the number I see most of the time on bosses, on everything. Tanky. So that's there. Have you been hit recently? This doesn't need to be a thing. Have you killed recently? Does need to be a thing. Have you hit with your weapon recently? Does need to be a thing. Onslaught, yes. Endurance charge is very big in this build. I will go over them exactly why they're very important. Frenzy charges as well. Obviously, a lot of damage comes from frenzy charges. If I turn both of these off, we lose about 10 million damage. But don't worry, we will have both of these up all the time, including on bosses as well. So they're always on. That's why they're included in the DPS. So let's go over everything. So I'm going to downscale. Right now I'm level 100. Level 100 kill tree. Let's downscale this a bit so that you can reach this. So take these points there. We are now level 6, and we take these up here. We are now level 115. Level 92. That I feel like is a good level to start off at. Level 92. Okay, that's the minimum you need. So let's start off with our Ascendancy. So I'm going to click all of them and click into them one by one. And I'll tell you what each of them also do. Untiring. We only need this because we want that massive regen, because the primary defensive layer of this build is going to be regen. We put this in, as well as this. Since we have an absolutely massive amount of armor, 8% of armor applies to fire, cold, and lightning damage taken from hits. That's mostly what we're using this for. We're not really using the other line here which says armor for equipped body armor is doubled. Even on my current armor, that's giving me, instead of 600 armor, it's giving me 1200 armor. It's decent, but we don't really need that for this build. We just need the other portion, right? Because if we have 1.2 million armor, 8% of that is being applied to cold, fire, and lightning damage. We're basically, if you look at these numbers here, look at how high those go. Right, so it's pretty strong. This one, you don't take this once you're higher level, okay? You take this one when you're higher level, because then we can't be slowed, we can't be stunned. Very nice, very quality of life thing. But until then, if you don't want this, you can stay in this one, and just at times you get stunned, at times you get slowed. Action speed slows are the worst because we primarily scale off of attack speed, but having that slowed down is pretty bad. So this one has a chance to give us endurance charges when we are hit, and a chance to give us endurance charges when we hit something. Right? Actually no, that's not this one, that's a separate thing. Ignore that. Basically, when we get hit, we get an endurance charge. And we also gain one every second if we've been hit recently, and every single time we get a endurance charge, we have 25% chance to gain our maximum. And this basically just gives us infinite endurance charge uptime with no investment. Right, and +1 maximum endurance charge. Let's put that in the maybe we'll have 6. Take those. Right, and these give us like a 1.5 million damage per charge. And last but not least, we have undeniable +500 accuracy rating, +1 attack speed per 150 accuracy rating. This is pretty strong. As you can see, this gives us around 2 yes, right, 3 million almost. So really there. We don't really benefit from the last one here, which gain accuracy rating equal to twice your strength, because we don't have a lot of strength. You might be thinking, oh, my attributes are so low, how am I upgrading everything? We'll get to it. So now, step by step, I'll go over the. So it's a really generic. We just go and mostly just path over to this. This is one of the more important areas. This is very important, and this is very important. And we just need our cluster jewel. Here for that cluster, you go over here for this one, and we go down here for this one. And the most important thing is this iron reflexes. This converts all our evasion rating to armor. Why are we doing this? If we are a armor stacker, why bother with evasion rating? I went over this in my primary build guide, but basically if I take out my grace gem and I take out my determination gem, let's just D&D this. So determination says the following: your nearby allies gain this much armor, and your nearby allies gain 49% more armor, and your nearby allies gain 1% of evasion rating as extra armor. That's the alt quality on this. Ignore that one for now, and just look at the other lines. Okay, then look at grace. Your nearby allies gain 30% more evasion rating and 27% additional evasion rating. The point of this being is our determination gem scales more overall armor but gives us less flat armor, right? But grace gives us more flat evasion rating. So the more sources we can get of flat evasion rating, the higher our armor will end up going because of this node here. That's basically what you want to think of it as, right? So that is why we use this. We scale up all evasion rating. Everything is supposed to give us evasion rating, and then all of it is converted to armor, and then determination converts 50% of that, basically almost doubles it in a way. So that's why we scale evasion rating on all of our gear pieces instead of armor, right? The build does not function without this node. If we take this off, we go down to 360. Of course, that's because I'm wearing evasion rating gear, but at the point, right? That's the basic premise of an armor stacker. Now the other premise is aura stacking, right? So again, we're using grace, determination. My current setup is using grace, determination, purity of fire, purity of elements, haste, wrath, defiance banner is somewhere here. Where is it? Defiance banner, vitality, clarity, and precision. The way higher budget builds also use anger and hatred and all these things, but for that you need to invest way more. Okay, so how do we get all those auras and how do we squeeze them in? Well, we use things like these small cluster jewels with introspection, and very important, that gives us aura effect, and these clusters give us 6% increased mana reservation efficiency per node. We get the 3 passive skill ones so that we can get 1, 2, and then the main node here. So this gives us 12% mana reservation efficiency here, 12 here, and we use a total of 6 of these, so 12 here, 12 here, and 12 here, 12 here. So that gives us 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72% increase mana reservation efficiency, along with these small nodes here, like this one, 8% increased mana reservation efficiency, 8% increased mana efficiency, and this one up here which gives us even more. And on your budget setup you will also be using this. Right, so there we have our mana reservation efficiency all set up, looking nice and right. This gives us around like 11 110, maybe around 100% mana reservation efficiency just off of our tree. That's how we fit our auras. We take elemental overload here because we want to do more elemental damage with hits. We don't need critical strikes. We don't scale off of them, we don't do anything off of them, that's fine. And then this league specifically, there's a special thing called tattoos, and we use all of them. We cover our entire tree with increased effect of non-curse auras. That gives us a very cheap way to scale our damage very efficiently. We have like, I don't know, 30 or something of these honor tattoo of the Flasks. Each of them go for around 50c. You don't have to buy these initially at all. You can run your entire tree without them and you will be completely fine. Okay, so that's pretty much it there. Apart from that, anything else? If anyone asks why are we taking this fire damage over time multiplier thing, we actually are not in the budget versions. I'm actually going to unequip that thing just for the budget version of the build. This gives us a lot of regen if we use the overcapped fire res armor base, which is way more expensive, but it gives us an absolutely massive amount of regen. Because if I spec back into this, right, if I spec back into this and I take again, this makes my regen go to 1800. Like, wait, life regen is 1900. If I take this off, it goes down to 1100. So that's 800 more life regen per second, which is massive. But for this budget version, we're only going to have around 1100 regen, which is still going to be more than enough for most things. Again, you're playing on a 10 divine budget, and it's still going to feel really strong, trust me. So after this, right, you have your tree set up. We are a level 88 now because of this. We're even lower level, right? So we can actually invest in over here for this jewel. We can get some more life. Actually, we're just gonna go for some life here and maybe a life up here. We have a total of 2700 life at level 92. Okay, so that's the tree. Jewels, I'm going to take off the jewels for now because those are upgrades. That's the only jewel that I had. Also had this warrior's tail, but this is a very cheap jewel that we will almost definitely include. It doesn't give us much. Look over, it gives us around 117% average damage, right? It'll around 1.1 million hit damage, some tankiness, some things here and there. It's not that, but it's still a very nice upgrade for just one jewel. Damage, tank. So besides that, that's the tree. Now we're going to go over how to buy every single item for this tree one by one, and I'm going to equip all of it, and then I'm going to import the character into Path of Building, and then you will see exactly how much damage I have. Okay, we're going to go over it step by step, starting with the armor. This is going to be a longer video, so bear with me. Yeah, bear with me. Right, so armor. This is the most important part. We are going to be using evasion rating. It is increased by overcapped cold res. Right now, usually there are non-unique versions of this only on items called grasping mail. I know these are like 50c, but these are like really crappy and their price goes up. These are really shitty mods. Don't really need these mods. And you cannot roll over this, you cannot alchemy orb this, you can't chaos, you can't essence smack this. It only comes naturally when you ID the item and then it goes away. Right, and it can cost quite a bit to craft this properly. And the other variant of this, which is overcapped fire res, oops, overcapped fire res, is way more expensive. And if you want a decent base for this, it'll cost you around maybe 15 to 20 divines, where most of the budget ends up going into for the budget version. Right, so that's why we're going to be using Unique. Recap. We're going to be using this, the Replica Perfect Form. This is a armor that's giving us a massive amount of evasion rating. Life. Yes, it gives us negative 30% full res. Who gives a shit? Flesh and Stone has no reservation. We don't really care about this much, but like we only just care about life, and decrease evasion rating, and this mod here. So this gives us shit ton of evasion rating, like a lot of evasion rating, right? And life. That's primarily. I'm gonna sort this by life. I don't go for these ridiculously overpriced ones. Let's go for a nice, peaceful. Look for one that has high life and high percentage evasion rate. Let's see if we can find a decent one here. I'm actually going to set over to a maximum 30C for our armor, so that we don't go way over budget. There's this one. Good life, decent this. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, found this one. Near max this. Very high life. We don't care about percentage increased dexterity at all. 30C for this, that's not bad. Can you find something with better base percentile? However, I don't think so. I think this is good enough, so we're gonna get this. That count is on DP. We turn that off. Oops. There. Now okay. Now we're done with armor. So while we're loading in here, I'm just going to put in we spent 30C on our armor. Yes, we will also be 6-linking the armor. See, that'll be a little bit of a slap in the face, right? Because we will need to spend around 1.5 divines to 6-link it. So that will hurt, but it won't be too. Look at that, we're less naked now. Alright.
That's the trail.
Real quick, just to show what mute game audio, this was very echoey at times. So just as a quick thing, Flesh and Stone. This is what Flesh and Stone is. Right, you take 11% less damage from attacks from enemies that aren't nearby while in stand stance. Nearby enemies are blinded while in a stand stance. Nearby enemies are maimed while in blood stance. Like, sure, you can use this if you have an empty socket. You can definitely use this, right? And it's a free aura, so sure, you can use it if you want to. You have a blind nearby enemy, so they have less chance of hitting you. And they have reduced movement speed if you want to maim them. Maim is irrelevant. Go for the blind. And the less damage taken from enemies that are nearby, so that farther away. Ranged zaps from either altered enemies will do less damage to you, which is actually nice. But anyway, we have our armor now. One piece is done. Now we go for our helmet. For the helmet, budget version is going to be Alpha's Owl Sinner Tricorn, which is basically a helmet that gives us mana reservation efficiency skills. We need this. Right, and you want any one of the following enchantments on it. You can either have this one, right? Purity of Elements has 30% increased mana reservation efficiency, or you can have Race has increased mana reservation efficiency, cheaper, right? Or you can have Determination. Any aura in your build that is a 50% reservation aura can fit into your helmet here, and we have so we have that here 50%, 50%, 50%, and Purity of Elements 50%. Purity of Fire, for example, is 35%, so we don't really need any one of these. Ice Determination, or the last one, Path, think cheap. I think Grace was the cheapest, right? Grace was around 80. Yeah, Grace is the cheapest. You can also, if you want, you can also try to find a improvement on this, right? So there's like something like this implicit here, +2 to level of targeted aura gem for 4 divine. This is going to be a very, very, very strong helmet, right? So if I just buy this, here, yeah, 50 results. Now we can just check which one. Purity of Lightning, we don't need that one. Hatred, no. Defiance Banner, no. You can just pick one of these and then go and enchant the helmet yourself from the labyrinth. If it's corrupted, you will need a Tainted Blessing to be able to enchant the corrupted helmet. These are pretty cheap, not that much. If you want, you can buy this for 2 divines, right? 2 divines, really, really strong to have, +4 to solid aura gems. Get this and then go and smash it in labyrinth a few runs, and you should be able to find it because you have 4 different chances to hit one of the auras that you want. But for this video, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to grab the race one here because that is the cheapest. There. Well, great. Is trade site down? Don't tell me trade site's down. That'll be really annoying if trade site. Just again. Recording. Okay. Please have anything. Trade site. Well, I'll continue this when trade site back up. Alright, hello, we are back. Trade site was down for almost 2 hours. Very annoying. Back. Fully again. So for the purposes of the video, for now, as I said, you can get any enchant, wrath, grace, determination, purity of elements. You can get one of those 4, or you can also get a corruption which says socketed skill gems get a 90% cost and resolution multiplier. This is also very, very nice. It actually gives you more mana preservation than a enchantment would, and then you can get something like this. Now this one is actually perfect, right? And the person is only selling it for a divine. I don't think it's still going to be available now. It's probably going to get sniped away almost immediately, but see, found it is. This person's AFK though. I'm in D&D. You can get this one, great. I will, however, not include this in the cost breakdown because this is going to be a decent chunk more damage as compared to the normal enchant without a damage enchant on it. But this is for the person who gets the entire set for himself to use, right? This is for that person so they get an extra nice helmet. Otherwise, you should buy either grace, determination, purity of elements, wrath.
I cannot do this yet.
Recording. Okay, so now we are done with helmet. Let's say our helmet cost us maximum 200C, right? A max, which is basically a divine orb that I just spent, right? But it's a little bit less. Now for our gloves. Ideally, you either want evasion rating fractured on your gloves or you want life fractured on your gloves. We're gonna find ones that are whatever's cheaper. That's what I'm going to go for. because we're going to slam essences of the other type, right? If we get a evasion fracture, we spam essences of greed, which is life, or if we get a life fracture, we spam essences of doubt. For this video, however, I'm going to go with life fractures, I think, because I'm just going to stock up on doubt essences, because that will be cheaper overall, because you can slam doubt essences on basically everything, on gloves, boots, and your rings. So you don't have to go around buying different types of essences. We will stick with life fractures on both our boots and our gloves. Okay, life, rear, click on fracture, and like 70, I think, or 80 is the highest. And we want this on a pair of slink gloves. It's ideally slink gloves. So actually, let me find the 13C. Confirm real quick. POE glove bases. If you want to check which base gives the most stats, different bases give different stats. For example, iron gauntlets, these are like the beginner gauntlets that you get in level 1. These have 6 to 9 armor on them. But like something like spike gloves or titan gauntlets have 240 to 278. We want these, like the higher bases. For our evasion based gloves, ideally we want slink, because that has the highest. Before slink, there's sinistral gloves, there's gripped. Grip isn't the highest though, it's stealth. We can sort this by evasion and we can get them. So it's slink, sinistral, stealth, gripped. Ideally you want slink, and we have slink for 13C here. 13C. I don't think this person's selling it though, because he shouldn't, because the lowest amount is a divine for the highest roll. Yeah, he's not selling. This person just has it up there and is on. So the next person here is 30C for a almost max roll. Right, and that's completely fine as well. 30 or 50C. If 30C guy responds, is great. He responds, and we go get our gloves. Right, so we got our gloves. Gloves was 2. Right, so we have pattern going here. 30C, 200C, 30C. We are around 1 divine so far, and there are gloves. Pretty gloves. I'm not turning game. That's so loud. Anyway, now for our boots. Again, we go back over here. If you're not sure which boot base gives the highest amount of evasion, you can go here. You can go boots, and you can go evasion boots, sort by evasion, and you can get the highest, which I think are chagrin or stealth. Slink boots, stealth boots, chagrin boots. These are the ones I think I'm using. Chagrins, because I just actually dropped these in a map, and I just thought, well, okay, I'll just use them. So that's why they're a lower base, but it's okay. We're gonna find slink because we want the best of the best, right? Slink boots. And we put this by life. 20C, look at that. I don't think, yeah, this person is not driven by. Let's just do 88 life minimum. And again, we find these for 10. I don't think this person 10, is he? Yes, look at that. 10C for the boots. Also, you don't have to be scared of these 120C, 150C. These are just for the highest roll possible. It's 88. But if we go down to, let's say, 87, right, you will notice that that cost goes significantly lower. Right, so don't worry about that. You'll find your boots pretty easily. How much were these? 10C. See. So they're the correct boots. One thing, you don't have to pay much attention to the base percentile. Yes, it's important, but you can always fix this using sacred orbs. They're not that expensive, they're like 30C per orb, and it re-rolls that base percentile. So if you want to min-max your gear, that's when you go for higher base percentile of things. Right, so I bought this one just now for 57% base percent. I bought this one for 78. But fine. Right, so far we have our this back in here. This goes. So oh yeah, I'm supposed to be naked, right? I was just playing the game while I was waiting for trade site to be back up. Take all of that off again. Oops. And everything's off. We have our armor back on. We're gonna put on our boots, put on our gloves, put on a hat. And look at that. We're starting to. I'm actually gonna take the MTX off so that you guys can see what this looks like. Armor doesn't look bad. To be honest, the armor does not look bad. It's a good looking armor even without MTX. Look at the boots. What the fuck are those boots? Okay, those are our boots. Yes. Okay. So this is us right now. Wait, this is us right now. We have a wolf hat, we have our armor, we have our gloves, we have our boots. Right, so next up, and see for the boots, now we have our rings. Right, so for our rings, we want a synthesized base, not a corrupted base. A synthesized base that has grace as increased aura effect. Right, on a ring. Okay. Ring on a non-unique ring. And as you can see, the base it's gone up in price a bit. This used to be cheaper. Okay, this definitely used to be cheaper. Will this guy respond? Hey man, 30C. Okay. So there's gonna be a divine for this base. Let me see if there's a cheaper alternative than divine. These used to be like 30 to 40C before. Let me see if determination or effect is cheaper. Determination or effect is way cheaper. Go for determination. We want item level 83 ideally. Let's try to go for that, or at least like the highest item level that you can get. You want 2 of these, so 30C. 30C. People. Alright, we got our trades. I think we got both of them for 40 now. This guy is selling for 30. Okay, so we got one ring for 30, and the other guy is Catfish, who's selling his for 40. The base doesn't matter, as in like base type gold rings, 2 stone rings, amethyst rings. Doesn't matter either way because we are going for the implicit and not the mods themselves or the other end. This is actually a decent ring as life res. Okay, this one is 30C. One, and we're going to ask the Catfish guy. Was recent. Yeah, the guy. That wasn't the guy. The guy. Hey, what was the name of this character? It was from isn't this from a Studio Ghibli film? I think it is. Anyway, I'm just gonna re-whisper some people and see who answered, because Catfish isn't answering anymore. But yeah, we don't really care much. Okay, this guy. Venom Man. Catfish answers, but he answers late. Sorry, Catfish, your trade is gone. Sucks to be you. Lose. Right, and we have our other ring. Yeah. What? 30? Oh, hey. That's selling it for 30 and he's being super nice. Alright, shout out to Venom Man. Isn't scamming. And there we have our other Grace Aura Effect ring. I'm just gonna check real quick how much is curse enemies with elemental weakness on hit ring. So these are really good too. Yeah, don't go for that one. What about conductivity? This is the one I'm using. 1.8 device. These, these get a bit more expensive, but this one ring is definitely an upgrade. This is mentioned in the crafting section for rings. You get a conductivity on hit ring. Those are going to be much nicer. Right, so now we have both of our rings. We bought both of them for 30C. So 30C for one ring and 30C for the other ring. Now for our swords, the bread and butter of the build, the reason why we are called an armor stacker, the replica dream feathers. Ideally, you want the most attack speed that you can squeeze in to this, right? It'll be even better if you get a high attack speed along with high DPS, physical DPS. But it's not necessary, right? So you're going to see a lot of corrupted ones. You're going to see some uncorrupted ones. Ideally, physical damage is nice, not bad, but you want to look for ones that have a high fizz roll and a max attack speed roll. And 4 armor is nice, but like 20 flat armor is going to make a big difference. Same with accuracy, it's not going to make a big difference. Every other roll doesn't really exist. Right, so let's go for this one looks decent. This one looks pretty decent. It has a decent amount of fizz, which is a decent roll of fizz. You could also go for this one. There is an argument to go for this one. It has the enchantment as well for attack speed, but its base rolls are pretty trashy. Same with this one, the base fizz on this is horrible. So let's get this one and see if the guy respawn. Maybe he's AFK for now. Right, I'm just going to do a quick thing. These are going to be like the most expensive part of the build, like a single purchase. This is probably going to be the most expensive thing you're going to buy, but it will be worth it. So this one has quite high fizz, quite high, more than this one actually. 221, 253 fizz DPS for 2 divines. Good attack speed, good everything. I'll take this one. 2 divines. Okay. He'll reply. Reply. And then, oh, you put it up 14 hours ago. Don't you want to sell it and get it out of your system? Hello. Sure. So we're gonna be waiting for him until he's done with his heist, while we search for another one. So we want ideally somewhere around this DPS because it'll just be nice for that. Since we just spent 2 divines on one, why we paid to spend another 2 divines on one? Let's go down till here. This is 237, 238, 232, 241, 250. This is 252. It's decent. It's decent. We can go for one of these. Yes. Sure. Alright, so we will go for this one. Is there one with some more armor on? Where's the 251? No, we're gonna go for this one. 252. This one. Right, so now we have our 2 swords. Both of them are saying in 1 sec, so we're just gonna wait a second for the guy to respond. Okay. So once those 2 respond, we will have our swords. So we're just going to add in swords, combined cost us fines. Now it's time for our beautiful amulet. Right, I love this thing. Replica Dragon Fangs Light. This is just, it's a beautiful addition to the game, and all we have to do here is just switch this out to level 5 gems with a 15 efficiency of skills. That's annoying. The price of the went up quite a bit. Let me see if there's a lower reservation on. There are. Still. I think what means still want. Yes, I do still want it. You will invite me. I'm gonna invite him. So there's a 14% one. We can settle with 14%. We're good with 14%. Are we? You might not be okay with 4%. I will have to POB that to find out. We're gonna check this right at the end. We'll check this right at the end. However, as a if we can't find level of all Smite, we can always go with level of all Grace or Determination or Wrath. As you can see, these are like way cheaper. Like 1.5 divines for this, even has a good anoint. So yeah, you can go for these as well. You can go for Determination, you can go for Wrath. Don't go for Purity of Elements, that's not worth it. It's not enough damage. Grace and Determination give you direct damage. So yes, we will check on these in a bit. So skipping that, we go on to our Timeless Jewel. Very important. Very important. The Timeless Jewel in this build. Right, this is the Timeless Jewel. It is an elegant hubris. You don't have to understand how Timeless Jewels work at all. Just know there's many types of Timeless Jewels. I actually have a few of them that I can show you. You can see a tiny bit of how these work. So hey, look at that, we have one sword in our hand. So we have, I think I have a few of them here, right? So let me just pull Glorious Vanity and a Lethal Pride. So I have two different types. There's also a Militant Faith, 4 different types. So this one, so each of them, depending on which general they're commemorating. So this one is Caspiro, right? So each of them convert one of your big notables here into something special, and they also change all the travel nodes and the small notable passives here into something else, right? So if I switch over to this one, this is just a random one. This gives this one Tempered by War, gives you some extra strength on your things, 4% life here, region life here, and like you can just check what other things it's giving you. Same with the Glorious Vanity. It gives you divine. This one gives you divine flesh, Zibaqua. Also gives you max chaos res and this and lightning pen and whatever else. Right, so it just changes your nodes into pretty strong. Like this node, it went from a plus 30 dex to plus 1 max chaos res. Very nice. And divine flesh is one of the very strong nodes. Well, I use this on my RF. If you look at the levering tree for RF, the higher level one, it uses this because it's really strong. But as you can see, if I don't have the one that I'm using, I don't meet attribute requirements for anything. That is why this one is really strong, because Caspiro gives us Supreme Ostentation, which ignores attribute requirements, but also makes it so we don't gain any bonuses from attributes. Their bonuses are the base bonuses here, plus 2 accuracy, plus 1 evasion per 5 dex. Same thing here, same thing here. So yeah, we don't get these anymore. We do, however, still benefit from this. Gain accuracy rating equal to twice your strength. It's okay, like it's a little bit of extra accuracy, right, for the attack speed thing. But yeah, this makes it so we can tattoo everything. Well, the one that I'm using is giving me 12% increased effect on non-crit auras and 80% increased evasion rating. This is incredibly cheap, like a divine, maybe 2 divines at most. And the way you search for these, right, as you can see, this has like commissioned this many coins to this person, so that those coins are the things that roll this. So that's from 2,000 to 160,000. many different possible outcomes that you can have for all these notable, right? And this amazing tool here, will soul get up IO times 3, this makes life incredibly. So if we go here and I want Hubris, that is conquered by Casiro, putting it in here, and I want to select my stats. My stats are, I want either aura effect, I want evasion rating, or I want armor maybe. Evasion rating is better, or you can go for armor. A elegant hubris gives you these kinds of stats: life, res, chaos res, shock avoidance, elemental avoidance, spell damage, increase lightning damage with attack skills. Could be pretty nice as well. Haven't tried that out yet. We have these 4 things. I'll search up every possible select where I want them. So I want them here or here. Right. Oh, there we go. First click deselect to deselect everything, because it will select everything in the AoE of this jewel socket, and then select the 2 you want. For the purpose of this build, we only have room for these 2. We click search, we go back here, we buy our second sword. Thank you, sir. We have our 2 swords now. And look at this, this gave us all the possible ones that we want. So ideally, I'm actually going to change the config, because we want at least one of them to be this. This is a huge DPS upgrade. Okay, so we're gonna raise the weightage of this to 10, so that it shows us all of the outcomes that have at least one of these in it. This is extremely expensive and doesn't even exist. Right, I think if I go up and search this, it doesn't exist. And anytime it has come up, it's come up for like 100 divines, maybe more. Right, you can set up live searches for this if you want, but it's not worth it. If you go for this one, which is 80% increased armor, you will see that this one is going to be, this one is this. Let's go for this one. If it said doesn't, like no results found, that just means that no one has found it. It exists in the game, but either no one has found it or there's none up for sale. This one's 25 divines. Ignore that one, trust me. Keep going down the list, closing things. 3 divines, no, keep going. You will find one that's way cheaper. 150. Right. I'm going to copy this because I just want to see, does this give us more damage than the at to build? Put in this one. We have more damage. No, we do not. We do not get more damage. We get way more damage using percentage evasion rating or armor. No, we won't be going for this one. We will be going for either an increased armor or a increased evasion rating. We keep looking. 4 divines. Thank you. Evasion rating. This 5 divines? No, keep going. We'll find one cheaper. If you hear my cat in the background, just joy, or if it's too loud, I'm sorry. But he just does his own thing. He gets annoyed a bit if I'm talking into a microphone for too long, because he wants me to talk to him, give him attention, and not honor my, in this case, my queen. Something strange is going on. Where are all the evasion rating ones? This. So we have 2 evasion rating one range. There used to be so many more. This one, ideally you want a evasion rating one. You should set up a live search for this. That was him banging his food bowl. He is hungry. If he does that again, I will pause recording and go feed him. But yes, so if you don't get evasion rating, you can search up armor and try to find the armor one instead. That. Like to speak into the mic? No? Alright, so back to it. keep on going here, try to find what we want. Open up all of these and see which one we hit. So this is all of them. Check this one, 3 results, 2 divines, cheapest. Great limit reached, great. 4 divines, no thank you. 3 divines, no thank you. 20, thank you. Let's wait for this one. Break limit 49 seconds. If it doesn't work, we'll have to go for the divine one, or it's not that much of a damage difference. I think it's not. But you can just wait. Also attack speed. Let me find one with a solid chunk of attack speed, 15%. But also okay. Now while that is happening, let's go over here. We'll put in our armor. Already up. I'm just going to move the socket. I'm not going to jeweler spam this. I'm going to do something else with this, because we want specific colors, and coloring this armor will be a tiny difficult. So we now, hey, incredibly cheap. This attack speed, 40C. Alright, let's see. Is this better than armor? It will be less on the defensive side, but it could be more on the damage side. Hey, look at that! It is more on the damage side of it, and way cheaper. 40C, take it. Or 1 divine. They're way, they're like not way. Actually, there's like, what's this one? 100C. So you get the point. You can set up live searches for those, and you can get them. They're not gonna respond to me. Hello. If he doesn't respond, I'm gonna go for the hunt. Wait. Wait. Why do I have? Oh, this one's my. Ignore that one. I was like, wait, why did I buy 3 swords by mistake? Did I do that? Okay. Alright, gulps audible in the microphone. Hope not. But if they are and you're doing it, then okay. Be sure to check if they're giving you the right one. And 9210 92140 Caspier. No, it's very easy to get scammed on these timeless duplicates. To be sure that you're getting the correct one. So now we have our timeless duplicates. Well, we have our armor, we have our back into thing here. I have no idea what the map was. 66 because now for our and timeless jewel cost us 100C. Now flasks. Okay, so for flasks, this is what you need for your flasks. Okay, you need a Stiff Knight flask, which is a 20% more evasion rating flask. You need a ruby flask. Actually, no, you don't need a ruby flask. You need a sapphire. You need a sapphire flask. Right, ruby flask is if you go over fire res, which we are not. So a sapphire flask, a 20% more armor flask, which is a basalt flask, and a jade flask of the toe, which is a flat evasion rating flask, and a life flask that gives you bleeding. And all of these should have the flagellant mod on them, right? Flagellant, that's tier 1, or you can go for tier 2 or tier 1 even. They're all fine. Ideally, tier 1 is best. Gain 1 charge when you're hit by an enemy. This makes us rapidly gain charges because we get hit quite a bit in maps. Because we don't have evasion, we only have armor. So yeah, and use when charges reach full. Makes it so we don't have to press any flasks at all. Our flasks just keep on going all the time, over and over again. And yeah, also make sure to have them at 20% quality so that you get longer durations. Right, so now let's go buy flasks. These are very simple. So what you can gain charges when you are hit by an enemy. There you go. Gain charge when you're hit by an enemy. And we go down the list. We go basalt flask first. Sure, why not? And we on our basalt flask ideally. The suffixes on these don't stack between flasks. We want to have unique suffixes for each flask, right? And you don't have to keep them the same. Like the Evasion flask can have the armor suffix, but you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? So you just go for the cheapest option. Basalt flask. Let's go with basalt with Evasion. Increased evasion rate due to flask effect. 60. Extremely cheap, extremely simple. Go for a higher roll of the bottom one. 4 divines. Fuck you, whoever this guy is. 18C. 2 charges, 58% increased. 18C. Have some chaos here. And there he goes, he responds. 1 flask down, then we get our Jade flask. And for our Jade, we can put attack speed. Not any flask effect, attack speed, during. Yeah. Okay, hi. So I accidentally hit stop recording somewhere in between buying the flasks. My bad. But here are all the flasks. I bought all of these for around 18 to 20C, as you can see in my whispers. 19C, 20C. This one was for 40C, the Jade one. Alright, so it's 40C. This one was 18C, the one which was in the video. Then we got all of our flasks for about say 20, 20, 20, 40. That is 80, 100. 100C for our flasks. Okay, so spreadsheet, we spent 100C on our flasks. We're not done with the flasks just yet, so we need to quality these up to 20%, because if you're not qualitying up your flasks, you are rolling. Quality these up to 20, and we go over to the crafting bench, we slap in our flasks, and we craft on use when charge reaches full. 5 instilling orbs, 5 blast blowers orbs. Simple. Both of those orbs cost almost nothing, right? So just craft that onto all your flasks. I'll get this nice little icon on top of it, if you can see. Loops it around. Right, so those are our flasks. Great. Also, I noticed in the previous recording that my voice was like cutting off in between a little bit, because I tried to fix some audio issues that were there in the previous videos, and I ended up creating a new audio issue in this one. I'm speaking a bit louder now. I upped the gain a bit, so I hope it's all clear now. I'm sorry if it was a bit annoying that the voice kept cutting off, but I hope it's okay. So the belt, our glorious belt. It's called the Anguish, or specifically Arn's Anguish. Maven drops this, infinite amount of these available. We want one with a grace has increased aura effect implicit on it. Now the reason we're wearing this belt is simple, right? It gives us an endurance charge and it converts our endurance charges to brutality charges. A brutal charge, or brutality charge, because it's more fun to say brutality charge, gives us a 3% chance to deal triple damage with an attack. So we attack so fast that most of those attacks are coming out as triple damage with extremely high lightning rolls. It's really nice. Now the thing about this belt is it does give us fire res, right? Now when we are using overcapped fire res mod on the armor, this belt is much better for that, right? But even if you're using this budget version with overcapped cold armor, cold resistance, this one still works. We just don't care about the fire res mod that much, so we can focus more on armor and life. We scale this with as much armor and life as possible, and we find the cheapest. This guy is being an idiot. Right, so we have 60C, right? And we also ideally want a high roll of grace or effect. So we search it up. Right, as you can see, there's a few here and there. I think I'm just going to go with the one divine one because I can, right? I'm going to go for the one that's one divine, and I'm going to ask him to like bring it down to maybe 150C. And you do one. Let's see, he responds. Always try to haggle a little bit, right? Because this build isn't usually gonna sell otherwise for him. No, sorry. Okay, no problem. We'll move on to this guy over here. No, actually, you want one of the Gabriel Santino. Are you here? And you do. Even if both these guys aren't down, we can also go for if grace is a bit expensive right now. If there aren't enough people selling a good grace one, you can always switch over to determination. Nice and cheap. Look at that, so much cheaper, right? 20% grace effect. This guy responds, it's amazing. 35C, 55C. You get the point. Look at that. We got our belt. I'm running low on chaos orbs. I hope I don't drop down to 0. I might have to sell a divine quick. Belt 80. Done with belt. Now we are at a small impasse for small clusters and large clusters. I hate crafting large clusters. Okay, what the fuck? I hate crafting them. They're very annoying to craft. But yeah, let's get our small clusters first, right? So we want small cluster. Just search this up so that we can get the template for this. We want a minimum of 3 jewel sockets, and we want mana reservation clusters, and we want any item level works. Just buy these up, buy them all. If you don't want to bother crafting them yourself, you can just get one with introspection on them. This one's actually pretty good. I'm gonna snipe this. Cold res. Ideally we want cold res on them, we want life on them, we want chaos res on them. Those are the 3 stats to go for. If you're going with overcat fire res, then you would want fire res on. Here we go. Rapaka Enrique has responded to us. That's one. We need 6 of these total, so we got 1. Right, we have 1. Let me just sort this by cold res. This guy's insane. People who think their jewels will actually sell for that value, they will never sell for this much. 120 buy. I'm not gonna sort by cold res. I'm just gonna buy them for now. You can roll these yourself. You can get better ones in the future. That's not bad. Life regen, evasion. Let's see if I can fix it. Not bad either. Right, you just go around and you buy these. Party and carry trade. That's one. You can also exalt slam this if you want for an extra mod. I'm gonna do that just for fun. Oh no. I'll have to rejoin that guy's. Like he's in the mines. How am I supposed to go into the mines? How much is this anyway? Baisu 60. Can you come out of the mines, please? Next, let's get research this. Maybe something new will pop up. Where's the guy we just spoke 4. Let's just whisper him again. Get a juke. There it is. The jewel. Let me go to this guy. 50C. Very annoying. This is the most annoying part, buying cluster jewels. This is the easy parts, the large clusters that are really frustrating. Well, you'll understand why. It's like, I'm out of chaos. I am out of chaos orbs. It is a bummer. I need to go get more chaos. Let's see. The guild stash have some. I can just. Oh no! Why isn't there a tab on the left there? What happened? Get back on the left. Funny. Hey, they have. I'll put it back. Don't worry, but if someone from the guild is watching this, I'll put it back for a good cause. Okay, it's for a good cause. Alright, we search. Wait, refresh. Research. Not great, but for now we're going for this giga budget clusters. As you saw, the ones without introspection, you can buy them for like 10-20C, and you get alteration spam to get introspection. Is not difficult to get. I will actually get one unrolled small cluster. I'll show you how you can make your own as well. Alright, so we need 2 more after this, so I'll buy 1 and I'm gonna roll the other one myself. So let's get this one. If he responds, if he does not respond, let's get. Oh, this one looks kind of nice. It's pretty nice. Actually, no, it's fire res. I thought that was cold res. Not sure about this actually, but I think you can throw these into harvest and change the fire res. Do you want both? No, I don't want both. I would have liked to buy both, get it over with, but I have to roll one myself. One. Wait, who's this? Who the fuck is this? No, wait, no. You want his. One. And sorry, got it already. Please. Let's go over to this guy. Pretend like that did. And then we buy a raw AMT one for 26. Okay. Okay, I hope my voice hasn't cut out randomly. Speak a bit more, like on the louder end. And now we have 5, and now we go for our last one. We just need a random one. Q1. As you can see, buying everything takes a little bit of time. It does, and it will take you time as well. You can try to buy all these pieces while you're leveling with your anything else, or just over time when you're like having a snack, watching something, just talking to a friend. Whoa, this is a very cool waypoint. He's not even here. He's at the shores. How much is it? 20C. 20C. Okay. Cool waypoint. Oh, he died in his map and he teleported back to town. That's what happened. I think. Maybe. No. Yes. Never mind. I don't know why he wasn't pretty sure. Anyway, thanks and sorry. Oh, he disconnected. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this sword somewhere else so that it stops being pay no attention to this. This is a separate build that I'm cooking up for. So we have our 5 jewels here. Now we're going to quickly roll this. We're going to scour this. Imagine this. We're going to type in intro. And now we're going to alteration spam until maybe I'll speed up this video. Depends on how quickly. There's quite a few mods you can hit, and if you hit something good, like if you hit 25% increased effect, exactly, so then you want to just regal and see if you can hit the introspection mod with 25% increased effect on one of your smaller ones. That is quite nice to have, quite expensive as well if you can hit that. So let's see, can we get some nice by rolling themselves? It doesn't take long at all. Like if I start spamming this way more, well, this will take no more than like 5 minutes at most to hit. And we hit introspection, we hit strength. We don't really need strength, but we hit chaos, right? That's not bad. I'm just gonna exalt this too because why not, right? Armor, wait, but this is quite a decent one. So we have our thing. Then I did say that I would alt slam this one too, just for the memes. Iris. Just real quick, just to check if this is possible. Can I slap this in here and go res? You can change the resistance. Can this happen? It can, so we can actually change fire res to cold res on our clustered harvest. That's what we're doing here. Is there anything else that I have fire? Oh, well, now we have some actually pretty decent jewels. Very nice, very nice. Now for the annoying part, which is going to be large cluster. So we go and we get our that back. We go attack damage while debuffing, and we want a maximum of 9. And a minimum of 8. It's always going to be minimum 8, but this, we get our cluster. You can buy this for 1C for the base order, or you can go show prowess and combat. Pseudo does work. So there's this one, 3 divines. There's this one, 4 divines. 4 divines. 4 divine. These went up in price significant from when I bought mine. But the thing about these large clusters is the following. So we want combat, rhythm, and martial prowess, right? So if we copy this, slap this into our POB at build, and let's just replace this one, right? This is the bottom one with what? This one actually gives us Feed the Fury and combat rhythm, and martial prowess is over here. We don't want this. We want it to be here and here. Right, so we have to be careful on how this is worded. Right now, I am a bit lost on this, okay, because sometimes if you have a 9 passive large cluster, so it's different wording. It has to be arranged differently. If you have an 8 passive large cluster, it can be listed differently. Okay, since these are all way too overpriced, we unfortunately have to go base, smash it in the harvest, get the hit. Let me just check real quick. Large cluster modifier. I want to check the minimum item level of this because I actually don't. That version. So check. We want martial prowess. This item level 1? We can get that at item level 1. Martial prowess. And we want combat rhythm. So combat rhythm is level 50. We want martial prowess and combat rhythm. Right, so we go for martial prowess. We want to go for an item level around minimum 50, right? So we don't want a higher, we just want it to be minimum 50. And that makes it so we can't roll any of these other ones which we don't want. We don't want vicious skewering, we don't want mage bane, we don't want devastation. I don't know. Right, and we don't really care about the small passive skill because we get 1 point of that anyway. We don't care about that much. Now let's go for this one. Response is great. I love it. Let X Duran guy respond. In the actual buck. Alright, so this guy that we want for 1C. We don't want this one, we don't want 48. I want it to be a minimum 50. And maybe so I can't believe people are actually making 1 chaos trades still. Like, imagine this guy is farming in his mine and he's coming out of the mine. Make 1 chaos orb trade, it's not even worth the time. Like, it's really not even worth it. A quick tip for you guys. Just don't make trades like this. Recording? Damn. So I just have to double triple check because I don't know when my stop recording button is the equal to sign. Right? So all of these are attack damage. So our large clusters cost us money. So 6 small clusters, each for around, let's say 60 C, even though some were 50. 60 C clusters, small, 6 of those, that's 360 C for the small cluster. 3 C for the large cluster. Hilarious. Let's just quickly make these rare. And now come art, right? I'm gonna keep track of how much harvest juice I used. We want to do reforge, random modifier with including a attack modifier. The most we want our attack modifier. This did not hit. Smite the weak isn't bad, but calamitous and hit and run. Did we just hit on a like second try? Oh, that's calamitous. Never mind now. Calamitous. We can keep this. We can keep calamitous because it does give us elemental damage attack skills and it gives us effect of non-damaging ailments, which is our shock effect. Calamitous is okay to keep. And I'll make this rare. Well, this one. Will the fight smite the weak? No. Drive the destruction. Heavy hitter. Again. Deadly repartee. Insatiable killer. We don't want those. This isn't bad, but we need mods. We need mods. Again, this one like doesn't have what we want. We don't want increased effect on a large cluster. We're a little bit unlucky. So we have good ones. Not good. Not good. So you can see why this is annoying. I I don't like doing this much at all. It's gonna work. You'd exalt slam that and see what hit. But the chances of us hitting are gonna be so low that I'm actually not good. So now I'm just gonna keep going with the holding. So you can also go with there's a report speed. But we can do that as well, but speed costs more. It's bad. Speed costs more, and you want to keep this cheaper. And we keep going. Hey, you know what? Increased damage if you use a travel skill. Recently, leap slam is a travel skill. I'm almost sure. Master prowess. We keep this, right? You can always get by stronger ones afterward, right? But for now, we're just gonna go with the cheaper one. As soon as we hit something we like, keep it. Can we keep this? Is this a keep? Is this a keep? This depends on if this is insatiable killer and master prowess, it's a keep. If it's hit and run and anything else, it's not a keep. So for the time being, I think I spent about, I actually didn't keep count. Oops. I think I'm gonna average like 2,000 to 3,000 life force. Okay, that's a lot. That's like, and it's like 40 clicks, 50 clicks almost, maybe. I think it's going to be a 6,000 life force is 1 divine, so 3,000 is going to be around 1 NC. So our last cluster is actually going around 130 C. I'm going to write here down. Right, not crafted. If you buy these off of trade, it will cost you way. Same with large clusters, it will cost you way more. It was better to do it. Okay, essences. Now this is the fun part. Right now, no more annoying stuff. Now since we're on a budget, right? If we were not on a budget, we will go for deafening essence of doubt. Out. So how much are these? Let's just check. One. Heck? That cheap? No. They're that cheap. They can buy deafening essences of doubt for 4C each in bulk if this character wants. I take candy. 4 divided by, if we buy the entire stock like 70, that's like 200 divided. You can always sell these back. I'm just gonna buy, let's say, buy all of them. All of them. He respawn. Oh God. That's gonna be all the remaining kills left. I'm gonna have to raid the kill stash again. But okay, that's our essences. Right, we're actually gonna put in the number of cost of the essences a bit after we're done crafting, because well, we'll probably not use 230, 250, 270. Hope we accept. We accept it. Please, it's all that. It's all I got, man. It's all I have. Yes. Hey. Alright, Hoodbone, Chad. Okay, we are done, almost done. Now the last thing, which is going to be pictures of. Now a lot of people are very scared of watching. There's all these different and all these scary things. So we want to buy the one mod we absolutely want. His non-channeling skills have -2 Lost while affected by clarity. If this mod doesn't exist, we literally can't play the build. You will not have the mana to cast our spell. So we need this. After this, I highly recommend getting a tankiness one. Physical damage. We can as we actually search a Purity of Ice and go physical damage taken as cold damage while affected by Purity of Ice, and we check how much. 150, this one, and then the rest are. If we instead go for a Purity of Elements modifier instead, that's cold damage because we have a lot of cold res in this version. That's 3 points. So if this 150 guy can do us, it'll be great. Hey buddy, will you respond? I don't have the. I should have prepared more, a lot more. My defense rate side was down, but okay. So this guy is not. That's okay. Let's just let's try and see. Immediate jump from like 2.8 to 25 because this is baseball. Okay, so that's a mess. Let's go back to Purity of Elements and see. Get 1, 3, 5. Let's try a different element, right? Purity of Element. It doesn't have to be cold. We can also go fire. I mean, yeah, physical damage taken as fire damage because we do have a little bit of overcapped fire. I have to mind. You know what? If you want to go giga budget, don't even get this as anything. Just literally just slam in this 180C, 189C, 190C. Find anything that you minorly like. Let's look at this one, right? It's 1 divine. It converts our physical damage converted to lightning damage while affected by ground. This is actually very useful. This allows us to run physical reflect maps. So if I'm just gonna search here and see nothing else around the 1 divine ring that can be better for us. If I don't see one that's better, or 1 divine. Purity of lightning now. Oh, that was double Purity of elements. I'm not seeing that. We're at 1.5 now. Let's get our 1 divine. Oh, here it is. This has -10 on. You don't need the -10. -9. No. And there we go. We have our Orchard's Eye. And that is it. We are done with the purchasing on the. That's it. So essences, again, we will add the total essences in a little bit. Video is almost done. Am I recording? Please say I am. I am. Amazing. Everything is going according. 1 physical damage taken, converted to lightning damage. Thank you, sir. We leave, and now comes the part that we all like. We're done with the purchasing section of the video. Now comes the old flask. Life flask. Actually, I forgot. I didn't buy this from the trade site, but this is like, you guys got the point, right? You put in the values. You want immunity to bleeding. You want to get a charge when you're hit by an enemy. This dropped as 30% quality, so you don't need it. You want to ideally go for a sacred flask. You also get all of your flasks to 28% quality using Syndicate Hillock and transportation. I think he has. Here it is. Okay, this is 22%. I slapped it with a very cheap Hillock. Also my gear, my boots have 30% quality, so do my gloves. More quality, more evasion. I used Hillock benches. Well, same for my weapons, 30%. I used a blacksmith, a painted blacksmith, to change the quality of this corrupted one. You should have maximum quality that you can here, although Hillocks do cost around a divine or 2 divines, so you don't need that. For now you can just redstones to get all of your max quality. This is corrupted, so that you here, same here, we up quality to max. And I use my tainted armor scraps for this. Easy. They oh, this was a guild stash. Well, yeah, I'll replace them. And then we here, and now we start crafting. So let's start with. Okay, so we're gonna hit these till we hit ideally. Actually, no, we're gonna do rings in the end. We're gonna do gloves and boots. So we want chaos res and cold res. Ideally, we hit fire res. We can change fire res to cold. What do we want? We don't want to send pocket. We're gonna get quite a high tier of lightning. We hit chaos res. We're gonna stop here for now. For now, I'm gonna stop here, right? Because budgeting. Now we're gonna see what we hit on hubs. Go base. We did hit a high tier of attack speed. These are very keepable gloves. Attack speed is one of the main things you want on them. You can change the lightning, cold. We're gonna keep them. No, we're gonna keep them. Right, we're gonna be a little undercapped on chaos res because of this. That's fine. Right, so we want ideally some cold res and chaos res. Our rings, rotating is okay, but we don't that much. Going cold res, we don't want any idea. Has life, some cold res, but we want chaos. We're way too low on chaos. We need some chaos. Okay. Also, really not be cool. No. I'll keep going until I hit chaos or a very high roll of life. Chaos and life. This is perfect. Very high chaos roll as well as some life. Rarity, we all love it. Rarity. Here we want chaos or very high life. Ongoing. Yes. Life, but no res. This is we are converting our fizz, but nah. Interesting. Mental damage with attack skills does benefit us quite a bit, but I wear all my gear right now. Chaos right. Yeah, 5 chaos right. No, we you know what? I'll reroll the gloves and get suppression. Normally you would love to see suppression, but hey, okay, we stop here. This is perfect. It's actually perfect. Chaos res, lightning, basically cold res, open suffix to craft, cold and chaos res, perfect. Lightning damage to attacks, love that as well. Perfection. Ideally in your prefix you would want percentage increased evasion rate, right? I'll give you a shit ton more evasion rating. For this, for now, good, we're keeping this. We are going to crafting bench and on cold and chaos res. Ideally you want to hit 15 on this, but for now, you know, and then we'll go over crafting stuff. Change. You'll change a lightning res into a full res, so that's what res. Here we're going to do thing. Actually no. For our boots, we will just do a cheeky thing. Hold and chaos. Boop. You notice that we have a fix boots, right? Well, now we don't. You know what? Movement speed isn't bad. I was hoping for percentage increased evasion if we don't breathe. Speed, but you know, doesn't hurt. Now, I'm going to need some regret orbs. Words. Press the wrong button. So I will need some regret orb, right? Because I am going to respec my own tree, showing you how this works so that I can showcase the build in game. Okay, so never regrets. Gonna the essences go. Did I toss the essence into my thing? How many did I have? I don't remember. Fuck. I think I had like 4 or 5 deafening doubts, maybe 3. Let's say, and we bought 70 of them, so we use like 60. That's a divine worth of essence. I'm just gonna say a divine worth of essence. So 1D, which is 30. So let's just do a quick tally. 30 plus 200, 30 plus 10 plus 30 plus 30 plus 4 plus 100, 100 plus 80 plus 360 plus 130 plus 230 plus 230. Right, and so we spent a total of 1500 chaos orbs. That's it, 1500 chaos, and we divide that by 230. 6.8 divines, and we have a aura stacker, armor stacker ready to go. Sure, we haven't bought the amulet yet, right? Okay, switch on over and equip all of these. Before that, let's get the right colors for everything. Right, so I'm going to copy the color that I have for my other gear. Armor coloring. I'm gonna have a whole separate section video just for this. Coloring the armor. Wait, did I stop recording? No, I didn't press. So we want for our armor 5 reds and a blue. Okay, now that is going to be painful, right? Wrong. Maybe, or you can just go, you can not be dumb, you can just 6 socket this, 6 link this, and go over to Vorici in Syndicate, use TFT, use the Forbidden Trove, aka TFT. I have a video on that as well if you want to take a look and find out how to use TFT. Go there. People take 40C per white socket, and you have a chance of getting 1 to 6 white sockets. If you hit 6 white sockets, you give them 240C. If you don't hit 6, you get like 1, you give them less, but you keep trying until you get like 6 white sockets. Ideally, the way you would want to do that would be, let me just grab a random armor. That is, grab this armor, right? Let's say you already 6 socketed this and 6 linked this. You go over here and you craft on at least 2 reds and 1 blue, right? 100 chromes. Okay. You get this, but this is an armor and evasion rating, so it's easy. You get these, right, on your armor, and then you go and Vorici this, because Vorici applies white sockets on top of the sockets you already have. Let's say it gives you 4 whites, but it gives you 4 whites here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have everything you need, right? You have your reds and you have enough whites to fit all of your other gems. So do that, much cheaper. Don't be dumb like me. I just didn't want to go to EFT to do this. So there we have that. So yes, do that instead. It'll take about 240C on average. Let's say average 300C to color the armor correctly. Right, plus not a formula. 130C, not 130, 300C, 300C ish for white, 300C for white sockets, and 300C for Omen of Fusing. Omen of Fusing? Omen of Fusing. For those of you who do not know what a Omen of Fusing is. Oh, sorry, it's Omen of Connection. No. Sorry, it doesn't even exist. Omen of Connections. Wow, this got even cheaper. It's 1 divine for a 6 length. Crazy. Crazy. Just wanna know. Accept. Did he give me the right one? Second, that looked like a different. And boom. We have our 6 linked replica perfect form Zodiac letter. With a green socket in it. That's fine. So now we are done. We're done. Oh, we are done. Now we can POB everything and see what we need for the amulet. So if we go back to our handy dandy thingy thing, we had a divine. We had 2 divines, right? +1, and then this is around 2 plus. We are now at 9.8. You will ideally not be at 9.8 if you're smart. You're smart. If you're smart, you won't be using the Omen. Just gonna cut that out. Like, this was stupid. This is dumb. This is not smart to use an Omen. I thought it would be smart if I could just do it with the jewelers I had. It was not smart. It was not smart. There's this 600C. So I'm gonna minus E. Go back to what we had. 600C is around 3 divines, is it? Like 2 point something divine. Let's go plus 2.5 divine. 9.3. Okay, 9.3. Bear with me. 9.3 divines, not that much still. Alright, so we have our gear now. I will equip my what do I need? What color? I need 2 blues and a red on my gloves, and I need 2 reds and a blue on my blue. If I 2 blues and a red. You can also use the socket thing on this one as well. I'm here we go, and 2 reds and 1 blue. Really? Helmet, race, enlightened, nation, path. Helmet's fine. I just need to 6-link this. You can change sockets and links of corrupted items. You just have to pay ball orbs along with fusings. So done. Look at that. We're done. We have our swords, forgot sword. Red, green, red, green, and whatever the heck. Oh, I think this is supposed to be red, red. I have people yelling at me while they're watching this. I've been recording this video for hours, not hours, like almost 3 hours, not 2 hours maybe. My recording, I am thankfully, thank God. I didn't check that in a while. I would have died if I wasn't. Okay, so disclaimer. I'm about to put an enlightened 4 into my helmet. You absolutely don't need it. Do not need enlightened 4. You can get by with an enlightened 3. I just have a 4, but you don't need a 4. Okay, trust me. Trust. Do not need an enlightened 4. Okay, that right there. All the gems that I'm putting in, all of these gems, some of them are old quality gems, some are not. You do not need all good quality gems. Thanks. Please. Game, I think. So we put in our as here. We have vitality. clarity, and precision all leak to arrogance support. These make a reserve our life instead. That's okay. I have a level 25 15% quality arrogance support. Just because it'd be better if it's 20% quality 21 level, but I bought most of my gems off of the trade site. You can level them yourself. I'm not gonna go over the gem purchasing. Just go buy a level 21 vitality, like 10. Buy a level 21 arrogance, something. Buy a level 1 clarity and never level up your clarity. We do not use this for mana regen, we just use this for the Watcher's Eye mod activation. And buy yourself a level 21 precision or a level 20 divergent precision. This gives me 2% increase. You do not need to. It's completely fine. You don't need. Enlighten 3 over here in your gloves. You do need 2 enlightens in this setup. Enlighten 3s are each are 1.5 divines. Actually no, they're not 1.5. Be cheaper. Okay. Enlighten. Transport. They're literally 30C, 34C, and 30. But yes, so 34C for 2 enlightens. This is going to be the most expensive. I'm not even going to include this in the cost, but I mean, fine. You know what, fine. 2 enlighten. Happy, fine. 70C. That'll look good. 35C each. About that. Here we go. 35C each for the enlightenments. I'm using an anomalous purity of elements. This gives me 10% increased effect of the aura. Basically just a little bit more elemental resistances. You don't need it. Get a level 21 purity of elements. Get a level 20 purity of elements. Level 21 doesn't even do. Trust me. Purity fire. This I'm using a purity here. Using a purity of cold. So this will turn into 2 blues, 2 greens. Right? Yeah. And like buy a purity of ice. I'll go buy a purity of ice because I'm going to showcase this properly, and so that you guys can see that buying these gems is not very expensive. Or if you buy a level 20 gem, it is worth nothing. Level 21 aura gems are worth something, but level 20 aura, come on, 3C, 4C, and quality on aura gems does not matter. Quality just gives them increased AoE. You don't want AoE on your aura gem. That's only good if you're trying to apply it to a party member. You're solo players, solo to the end, no friends, sitting in a dark room. I am talking to my screen, microphone. No, I don't have KO. I have 4C. I have 4C. Good, we're good. I have 4C. We're safe. We're safe. I have money. Not broke. Remember, everything I've bought, entire video, this entire gear set, even the scuffed armor, is available for a giveaway. Join the Discord link available in the spreadsheet and in the comments of the video, and type any message and send it in the general chat. And and once the video hits around 1,000 views, something like that, I'll just do a random number generator, and whatever number hits, that person gets everything. Pretty nice. Where's the last gem? I'm using a level 20 Ball Haste. You can get a level 21, those are a bit more expensive. I'm settling with 20. Level 21 doesn't do bad. As you can see, quality just gives us a area effect. Quality gives area effect. All quality does other things, but Now for the main setup. A level 20 Wall Smite, level 21 would be better. I just didn't bother. A Awakened Lightning Penetration, a anomalous volatility or a normal volatility, they are both completely fine. Divergent multi-strike or a normal multi-strike, they're both fine. Awakened elemental damage with attacks, very important. This cannot be skipped. Awakened elemental damage with attack support makes us, at max level, it makes us immune to reflect. So this is a very big must. However, you can settle with just a normal elemental damage attacks at level 20 or level 21. Use that until you have the currency to buy a level 1 awakened elemental damage with attacks, and just level it up to level 5, and then you get immune to reflected damage. So since I don't have a red socket, oh no, wait a minute. Wondering why I was getting roughed. The last one here is Ruthless Support, right? Also a very important support gem in this entire thing, but I can't equip a Ruthless Support because I don't have my last red link. So for the purposes of this one, I'm going to take a random thing. Sure, faster attack speed, why not? We're gonna go level 1 faster attack speed. How much of a difference does that make? Some difference. Okay, so and now I am going to there and equipped. Okay, so now where did I take all stuff? And we go over to our skill tree, and I am going to now spec out of some things. Now I am a level 96 character at the moment. I'm 6. Not even more. Level 93. There you go. I am now a level 92 character. Okay. Poor level 90 character. And my watcher. And this is main. This is the one you guys bought. Jewel at this one. Fine. Attack speed or effect. Now I take off cluster jewels. Oop. Gone. And we add our new one. Mushroom OS, fuel the flight. Mushroom enter. This one's a bit scuffy. This one's actually. Oh, did I buy a 9 passive one by mistake? Did. Oops. God, if you're crafting your own things, you should get 8 passive ones. I should fix that in the note. Well, 9 passive ones will add this. And the last one. Oop. Oop. Boom. We are a aura stacker. Let's go. The auras aren't on at the moment. I'm level 94. At 6 points, I'm level 94. I think there's. Oh, there. I bought 2 9 passive. I bought all of them at 9 passive. Don't be me. Don't be me. Be better. Be better. Buy 8 passive ones. So that's that. That is now our thing done, right? So now we are just going to put in the. We have our Vigilant Strike, Molten Shell, we have our Blood, our Leap Slam, we have our Defiance Banner, we have our Ancestor Vector. So you can arrange this however the hell you want. Ideally, you want normal Molten Shell on your left click, your attack skill on something. Like using Ancestral Totem on something. Ideally, I like my Vigilant Strike being first stab so I can just smack something. Get free fortification that way. That's why I use Vigilant Strike. It's a bit clunky to use. Like, look, this is what the attack is. right? So it's pretty clunky, but it gives you free fortify. You're standing in a big pack and get this 20 fortify, insanely tanky. That I keep R. I like all haste, this is all smite, and these are my auras. So now all the let's before all the auras. Right now we are at also the auras respecking at. I have to spec out of this because we don't have overcap fire res. Now I'm a level 90 character. Right now I'm level 90. I can add some point here and there. I'm level 90. Right, most of you might be slightly higher level. It's okay. So right now I have 53 fire res, 91% overcapped cone res, negative 35% light. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to get an amulet back. So we can grace or the life res, a wrath, our beauty of elements, beauty of ice. That, look at that, everything's in place, everything. Determination can't hit. Now we jump on over, we import this entire thing into path of building, and we check how much reservation we need for our armor, for our amulet, and again we go based off that. So let's go on over there. So this is my tree at the moment, 1100 tree. I'm just going to import my update, just like reset the instance so that the character updates. So I'm going to a new instance, party invites, and now I do this. This is count, and I am everything, massive tree and skills, and import my items. Smite. Let's okay. Fix the config here. We have haste, not while haste. We have smite, not while smite. We have that's it. And I have while move to shove up. Heavy enlightened. Okay, happy? I have set the enlightened to 3. Okay, are we happy? Are we good? 5 unreserved mana. For this, we get 2 unreserved mana. The less unreserved mana we have, the better, because mana siphoners do less damage. So this is perfect. We can actually settle with a 13% reservation, which means we can buy this 1 divine. 1. For you, when you are going off to buy your things, of course, you can buy the grace, level of all grace gems, you can buy level of all determination gems, you can buy level of all whatever the hell, all wrath gems, right? Just POB them the way I did just now. Just get down here, pick a dragon fang, edit this, go here, go and edit, type in whatever gem it is, that, and you should be. I don't have. Fine. Give me my only plus 10 to elemental resistances, which is, you know, bummer. But maybe you guys can get a better roll. Okay, so now we're almost done. Now I just put in 1 point here. Right. Now I should be a bruiser nation, and I have 10 mana left because I have a lightning 4 in my head. I have a lightning 4 here. Trust me, lightning 3 works as I've shown it here. We have a lightning 3. Okay, and lightning 3 is number 3. It's fine. The other enlightened as well, if I can find it. Also a 3. They're both lightning 3s. Everything is fine. Don't hurt me. Fine. Okay. Now one more thing. Not done with the amulet just yet. And that is, we can allocate one of 2 things. Time it in. Done. You're done. You're done. Build is ready to go. Everything's ready. Haste got undone. Now this is what our attack speed looks like right now. All our flasks up, everything. Almost. One small thing, we have to craft this. This is why we need an open prefix. We need to craft on -7 total mana cost to rings on both of our rings. Amazing, you will hit it on the first try. So now our lightning res is 66% and our fire res is overcap, cold res is overcap. Let's just quickly go over here and fix lightning. Ooh. I'll just change the fire res one on this lightning. Fire into lightning. There we go. And now we have overcap resistances. We have +1 to our max resistances because of a mastery up here. +1 to all maximum amount of resistances if we have reserved life and mana. Everything. This is now a level 96 character. We can drop a few points here and there. You can become lower level. You can drop some life here. You can drop this mastery if you want to. You can drop many things. You can drop an extra endurance charge, whatever the hell you want to drop. Quick note about this class. We are taking this because we want 25% chance to gain an endurance charge when you are hit, along with 50% increased armor while stationary. However, if you don't want to waste points on that, you can take this note instead, which gives you a maximum endurance charge, and this gives you that chance to gain endurance charges on hit automatically through this. We'll have to drop this. This gives us slow immunity. Our attack speed stays up all the time. Completely up to you. If you want to go for this and save from some passive points, you can. You can spec into this other time, you can. Perfectly fine. I have these two nodes here, by the way, that are reservation efficiency. This is for my end game setup. You don't need this in your lower game, budget. What am I saying? Lower game budget setup. Disclaimer: all the tattoos here that are giving you aura effect, you do not need them. You do not need them. Okay. All of the aura effect that we're getting from our skill tree, you can slowly buy those tattoos. They are 50C each. So covering your entire tree with tattoos will cost you 5 divines, roughly. You don't. You do not need it. Okay? You don't need it. It's a lot of damage, yes, but you do not need it. Okay? Disclaimer, you don't need it. Yeah. In the end, we have this. This is our setup. And this is our damage against bosses. We have 5 million. And bosses we have 5.4 million. Easily fine. Okay, all good. So this is the budget setup for this build. Right, we have to set our time stationary to 5 seconds because we stand stationary quite a bit. So I have used a travel skill recently. Very recently. So yeah, 6 million boss damage, 5.3 million shaper DPS at around now for the final calculations. The amulet cost us a divine. Right. Armor, I already added in the armor, 9.3. So plus 1 fine. 10.3 divines and we are done. However, plus point for some ups and downs in pricing, and also a little bit of extra currency to roll your implicits on your gear. Right, so if you're an extremely good at the game, you will hit it on the first try. You want cold damage as our Eater World implicit, and we want either this, or we want non-val skill strike an additional nearby target. That one feels much better. Not damage, it feels much better. Very good for clear, very good for invitations. Try that. I like that one more. Here we want Fizz as extra lightning, ideally. Not Fizz extra gold, we want Fizz extra lightning. So fire. We can also get life regeneration rate, that's okay too. I'm gonna stop here, life regen rate, and what we know we want, we can get this, increased effect of onslaught. But this is only good if we have onslaught in one of our corruptions, which is a slightly higher budget version of a sword. So we're not gonna go for that. Action speed, we want action speed, ideally. Now we're done. Now we have everything set up. Auras back on, being enabled, and we are good to go. Also, do please remember, your builds will not have this stupid ass faster attacks. It's literally giving me almost no damage. This is supposed to be ruthless. 6.6 million PPD. That's how much damage you're supposed to have. Okay, so please. And I'm gonna remove Awakened Elemental damage attacks. I put on a normal one. Right, 6.6 million to 6.3 million with a normal Awakened Elemental damage attacks. And Awakened Lightning Pen is extremely cheap. Just buy an Awakened Lightning Pen off the bat. That's it. 6.3 million damage. Ignore the mana cost here. That's because the ring and ring enchantments are not in this one. If I re-import my build, they will go in here. Now for a quick map showcase with this setup, we're gonna do a cemetery because people love their cemeteries, right? We're just gonna chisel. We're gonna elk. We will see. We are afraid of less aura effect and less armor for the rolls on the maps, so we can still do them. It just feels miserable to do them. It feels annoying to do. Do I have compasses in? I do. I'm gonna take my compasses off, and we run map. A small note to make here: this build can run everything. This build can do all the content in the game easily. No issues at all whatsoever. However, we are not that tanky. With the cold res version, we have 1,000 life regen per second, which is not that much, and we have around 1.1 million armor with our Flasks, so that's good. But the lack of regen makes it so we can't just AFK in packs, right? We do start taking some damage. Burning Ground does hit us a little bit, but as you can see, 1800 life, and I am still tanking a lot, right? Which is pretty good. And then I just go boop, and things just die, which is really nice. Oh, I have essences here. Oh, my faster attacks is leveling, yay. An operating strong box on. Do I have an elk on me? Let me turn down the map. But yeah, so we get the point. Build works very nicely. Boss, Maven, I have triple witness on, so she'll bring up 4 things. I had 1 enemy for 4 fortification. I do it again, hit 7. This is more so good for large packs of enemies. Right, we have a few bosses here, and if you want to just boop. With the higher budget setup, you can just one-shot all of them. But there we go, they're all dead. They dropped absolutely nothing. Thank you, Maven. But as you can see, this is on a 10 divine budget. 10 divine budget, and the build works really well. We got a orb of chance. Let's chance our strong. No. Game, I refuse. Thank you. Let's see. We get Winged Scarab. Garbage. Got it. But yeah, that's I don't think there's much else to show in terms of mapping. Like, we leap slam around, we open up essences, or run essences. This is a tier 16 map, and we are shredding through essences. We are shredding through everything that comes in our way. Again, 10 divine budget, and if you want to fully tattoo up your tree, it's 15 divine budget. Still an extremely low budget to be able to play the game in this manner of just leap slamming around, killing everything in sight, and just going over from pack to pack, killing them, going over to the next one. So there it is. There should be a Harbinger somewhere on this map, because I do have that on my atlas. I'm going to see if I can find the Harbinger so I can show what it looks like. There's the Harbinger, and I can just stand still. There's the Harbinger. Stand still. This will proc the increased armor while stationary, and we can just stand here, hold down our Smite key. Smite auto targets anything around us, and it died. Wow, the loot was horrible in this map. Yikes. But yeah, I get the point. And this was with fucking faster attacks as one of my legs. So you get the idea. We are an extremely strong build. We don't even need the life or anything, right? You can use extra points for whatever the hell you want to use it for. And yes. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Cluster jewel, small clusters, passive skills, crafting. I'm pretty sure I've gone over every single thing I could possibly think of. Right? I will include this POB in the comments, and I will include my current POB with my current setup, the Overcat Fire Res setup. I will set that up as well if you guys want to eventually switch over to that one. Right? You will just have to switch your Purity of Ice for Purity of Fire, and that's it. And your body armor. If you want to switch over to Purity of Fire and the Overcat Fire Res mod on the armor, you will switch this armor into a Grasping Mail with with the Overcat Fire Res mod on it, and you will switch your Purity of Ice for Purity of Fire, and then you will take this node up here, which gives you increased increased region for Fire Res. Very nice. You will keep this. This is very nice too. And that is pretty much it as far as I know. Yes, that should be it for this video. I hope this helps a lot of people. If it doesn't, well, it sucks. But what was the warning? What's the warning? You don't have enough mana. Right? Yes, we do. It should have refreshed by now, but I'm actually gonna put in the spectrum breaks when you guys are importing these characters into your keys to build. There's this one here. We can take our other one, that to build, and this, and now we have save as Giga budget Smite Juggernaut. Right? Am I recording? I am recording. That is it. Bye.